Now, our most important second speaker of the day, our own Shri W.D. Ashok sir, our management trustee, IQAC head, and one of the most prolific person to encourage, support, and motivate us for this kind of activities which will assimilate, disseminate, and spread the awareness of different knowledges. I request our Sri W.D. Ashok sir. I'd like to introduce you. He is a trustee of Seshadipuram Educational Trust. He is the chairman of the Betterment Committee of Seshadipuram High School, Yalanka. And he has served the nation, served abroad. He holds a master degree in pharmacy, specializing in the field of total parenteral nutrition. He served at the famous Al Adan Hospital, Kuwait, as a pharmacist for over 13 years. And he has both exposure to the national and international. With that blend, he is developing our trust, our educational institute, and that's why he is into the internal quality control assurance cell of SFGC, where we have achieved to get NAC A grade, and we are going for further accreditation under his able guideship and critical analysis and strict adherence to the discipline, encouragement, and motivation. Sir, we'll be blessed to listen to you. So the stage is yours, and we, as usual, will be enlightened by your talk, sir.
Thank you, Santanu. Am I audible?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, just welcoming everyone to this platform from the Seshadripuram First Grade College, North Bangalore Science Forum, Department of Physical Education Foundation of India, Bangalore University, and Karnataka Science and Technology Academy. With association with all this, we are with this international conference for the 8 days, and with this topic of today, nutrition and health. Earlier speaker has given a wonderful talk, and he has told about the importance of gut, and I would like to actually be stressing on this point, and I will be going ahead with the topic. I'll be starting my PowerPoint, and I'll be explaining what I want to actually say. Starting with nutrition. What is nutrition? Nutrition is about eating a healthy and balanced diet. The process of providing or obtaining the food necessary for health and growth. This is what the basics says. And also I just want to recollect you from the basic school knowledge, that is what different types of nutritions we are having on the daily basis. That is carbohydrates, proteins, fats, vitamins, minerals, fiber, and water. The usual which you have already studied in the earlier class of our school days. So we can just, I just want to bring it to your notice that once we say nutrition, it's broken up into two parts, basically as macronutrients and micronutrients. The first three, which has been represented, the carbohydrate, the protein, and the fat, are to be said as macronutrients because they are taken up in the bigger quantities of our dietary regular eating habits. Carbohydrates, the fats, and the proteins in the bigger amount, we say it as the macronutrients, whereas the micronutrients, which is coming as vitamins and minerals, are in a very minute quantities which are taken up from the food again. And also, as we are telling, this is what happens in the normal beings or the normal human beings. An ideal intake of calories varies depending on the age, is metabolism, and the level of physical activity, and among other things also. So the daily requirement or the recommended daily calories intake is around 2000 kilocalories for a woman and 2500 for men. That is what the usual categorization is made upon. I just want to stress that this is for the normal human persons who is on the regular feed, he will be available to take these quantities. I just want to make it a little interesting why I have chosen total parenteral nutrition is basically, I just want to start my topic with this basic question. How would patient who have been advised to avoid oral intake of food get the recommended calories intake for the day? That is, for example, the patient is asked not to take any feed in the oral route. How will he take his daily intake without consuming food is the question from me. For example, I just want to illustrate this figure showing the cancerous part of the intestine or the colon, where the intestine with the cancer has to be dissected and has to be operated, and the cancer part has to be removed, and the cut end of the colon will be joined. So for the healing process to take place in these circumstances, the doctor advises the patient not to take food for at least a week or two. So what does the patient do in these circumstances becomes very important. So basically my talk starts on these conditions where the patients are going to face the problem of not taking the oral food. So what will be their condition and how will they get their dietary calories according to the conditions on the prevailing day-to-day life. The next example I would like to say is about the Crohn's disease. Crohn's disease, the patient with deformalities as shown in the figure, the intestine deformities are there. The patient requires surgery, a type of inflammatory bowel disease. So this also has to be operated, and the patient will not be taking any oral feed from his alimentary tract. So basically it is avoided at this point of time also. And ulcerative colitis is the other condition where ulcer formations in the gut takes place and bleeding of blood is there, and healing process has to be taken up at the same time. So here also the doctor advises the patient not to take any food for at least a week or two. So what happens in this kind of patients? How are they consuming the food? How are they getting the calories on the daily basis? I have given the few examples of the adult patients. Now I would like to introduce the neonatal case where the premature birth takes place. As you are aware that the patient delivery takes place after 9 months. For example, if the delivery takes place around 8 months or 7.5 months, the premature babies born usually face a death rate of more than 20 to 25% in India. So to say that the premature babies, how can they survive without any, because they will not be in a position to eat, they will not have opened their eyes, they will not be able to take any oral food at that moment of time. So how will they survive the 1 month to and gain their strength and to become a normal being in the future? I just want to bring it to your notice. At the same time, with this, I just want to come to my topic, the total parenteral nutrition. This I am abbreviating most of the time as TPN. TPN stands for Total Parenteral Nutrition. Is a solution that provides the patient with complete nutritional requirements coming from the fluid, calories, nitrogen source, electrolytes, minerals, vitamins, fats, and trace elements. All this put together to necessary to maintain the basal metabolism, promote tissue healing, growth, and supplement requirements for the body activity. I just want to again reiterate it. Total parenteral nutrition is to provide the patient with complete nutritional requirement through the IV means. That is intravenous means. I am just going to give the nutrition. The TPN, total parenteral nutrition, may be administered by central or peripheral vein depending on the preference, availability, and tonicity of the solution. Catheters should be inserted using a strict aseptic technique, and parenteral nutrition started once the line is established and comfort by X-ray to be in the correct position. So I just want to again say that whatever the TPN solution which we are going to prepare in this mode, this method bypasses the digestive tract completely and places nutrients directly into the bloodstream. TPN, total parenteral nutrition, allows the bowel to be in rest and for the medicines can work on its part. So thereby we are giving resting the colon or the whatever the gut portion which has been operated to take its healing time at this moment of time. So as we said that whatever the preparation of TPN in the bag what we have done will be pushed through peripheral parenteral nutrition, peripheral route, that is IV route. The similar ones as you take the drips, that is normal IV drips what you are taking. Similarly, TPN will be formed and it will be given by peripheral parenteral route. What happens in these cases of parenteral nutrition? It is recommended that peripheral nutrition given through a short peripheral cannula or through a midline catheter should be used only for a limited period of time and only when using nutrient solutions whose osmolarity does not exceed 900 milliosmoles per liter. So the condition is very clear. This is basically the peripheral route of parenteral administration is for a very shorter period of time and where the osmolarity of the solution is 900 milliosmoles per liter. So what about in conditions where concentration solutions are coming in exceeding to 900, what happens in such cases? And what happens if it is recommended that more amount of time is needed for people to be taken on TPN? There is an alternative also. Central parenteral nutrition can also be administered. In this case, as shown in the figure, the TPN solution is directly pumped into the heart. That is, catheters are commonly placed in the veins, either through the neck or the chest. If it is in the neck position, internal jugular vein is connected with the catheters. If it is the chest portion, subclavian line is introduced. This line is placed into the veins that runs behind the collarbone as shown in the figure. Thereby, TPN solutions are pumped directly into the heart where the dilution of the solution is taking place. As we have said that these are more concentrated solutions, the central parenteral nutrition is used for solution with an osmolarity of 900 milliosmoles per liter or greater can be used because as the solution runs into the heart, there is more volume of blood whereby dilution takes place, and by the time the next pumping takes place, that amount of medicine is pushed forward and thereby dilution is regularly occurring. Thereby concentrated solutions can go ahead with this central line of TPN. Again, I just want to come back and with a collective note, what were the indications for this purpose? We already have seen that extremely premature birth with low birth weight, this kind of patients are needing the TPN. If the major surgeries, especially in case of gastro tract abnormalities like the duodenal atresia, ulcerative colitis, inflammatory bowel disease, malnutrition, severe bowel syndromes, preoperative phase of surgical corrections of the GI problem, developmental abnormalities of the intestinal tract, and unresolving pancreatitis. Even in some cases of hepatic failures, chronic renal failures, and in cases of hypermetabolic states like burns, sepsis, major trauma, long bone marrow fractures, doctors may recommend. In cases of cancer, we already showed the example that once the doctor recommends the total parenteral nutrition, this all becomes the candidates for total parenteral nutrition where they are not able to take the normal food from the oral route of administration. So how do we prepare the TPN? TPN is filled in the bags as we have shown. There are two types of bags which are available in the market. That is EVA bags, ethylene vinyl acetate bags, and the other one is the PVC bags. Polyvinyl chloride bags are also available in the market. It has the three introductory ports, that is one for filling, one for the outlet, and one for any medications to be added from the injection point of route. So coming to the components, so we already said that the normal oral intake, what we are consuming, the similar oral type of actions to be given from the TPN. So what do you give in the TPN? We can segregate it as macronutrients, that is calories, and micronutrients from the small amount of electrolytes, trace elements, and vitamins. So calories, you are getting it from dextrose either through the solutions of 20% and 50% solutions. Intralipid, that is fat solutions, which is available in the market from 10% and 20% solutions. Protein, which is available as amino acid solutions. Amino fusion solutions are available in the market. 5% and 10% solutions are available. It can be used for the preparation. Electrolytes like sodium, potassium, magnesium, calcium, phosphate, trace elements like zinc, copper, chromium, manganese, and selenium are available as trace minerals, which are available as solutions. Vitamins, again, are of two types: oil soluble vitamins, that is vitamin A, vitamin D, vitamin E, and vitamin K. Water soluble vitamins, which are the B complex series, and the vitamin C, ascorbic acid. So all this put together with the help of water for dilutions, we can create the TPR. I just want to go in details about the ingredients and their qualities. So coming to the carbohydrates, we said that dextrose, which is available either of different strengths. For example, 50% dextrose bottle, I have shown it in the figure. Carbohydrate serves as a prime energy source and provides around 45 to 65 of the daily energy needs. Nearly all dietary carbs are broken down into glucose and oxidized for energy. Coming to the energy, each gram of carbohydrates provides 3.4 kilocalories of energy. So next, the protein part, coming from the amino acid solutions. Amino acids are classified either as essential or non-essential amino acids. Aminoven solution, which is shown in the bottle, which is containing all 20 amino acids as they occur in the human body and which are necessary for body protein synthesis. So this type of solutions can be utilized for the preparations of required quantities. Coming to its energy, each gram of amino acid is equivalent to 4 kilocalories of energy. Coming to the fat, that is fat, lipid, which is important from the energy point of view. Fat emulsions are needed to prevent essential fatty acid deficiency. Fat is most calorie dense nutrient in parenteral nutrition. Approximately about 10 kilocalories per gram of energy is got from fats, providing more than the twice of calories of carbohydrates and proteins, which we earlier saw. As we said in the earlier statements, carbohydrate is giving 3.4 kilocalories, protein is giving 4 kilocalories, whereas fat gives around 9 to 10 kilocalories of energy. What are these composed of? They are composed basically of triglyceride, sterols, and phospholipids. They are also function as carriers of essential nutrients such as fat soluble vitamins. We already said in the vitamins, there are two types of vitamins: water soluble vitamins and fat soluble vitamins. So once the lipid is being used, we can utilize the oil soluble vitamins in this case as a transporting one. Lipids may be ordered daily or on certain days of a week in quantities sufficient to prevent the essential fatty acid deficiency. So just to bring up some points regarding the essential fatty acid deficiency, how do the patients are being recognized, those who are having this deficiency? The patients with this deficiency, usually there will be dry skin, coarsening of hair, impaired wound healing, hematological disorders, hemolytic anemia, malabsorptions are taking place. So in this type of patients, we require the fat emulsions. Coming to the next, electrolytes. Electrolytes play a critical role in almost all the body physiological functions. Electrolytes, as we said, it is the sodium, potassium, calcium, magnesium, and chloride and phosphorus, which are added according to the need of the patient. Electrolytes are introduced or included in the formula to meet the daily requirements and to the correct any deficient in the patients. The management of electrolytes for patients can be done of the most time consuming aspects of monitoring and managing the nutritional support usually happens. It is very important to recognize the signs and symptoms of the deficiency. Just to bring to your notice again, we said about the electrolytes and what are the quantities that we will be recommending in cases of preparations in our TPN bag, that is total parenteral nutrition bag. That is sodium, for here it has been mentioned, electrolytes, and what are the amounts per 1000 calories, what will be the quantity of the relevant electrolytes that will be taken up in the preparation. For example, sodium can be utilized in the range of 40 to 50 micro equivalents, potassium in the range of 30 to 40, chloride in the range of 40 to 50, magnesium in the range of 8 to 12, calcium in the range of 2 to 5, phosphorus in the range of 15 to 25 milliequivalents. Coming to the vitamins, as we have already said, that is different vitamins which are included and what are the actual symptoms and deficiencies why you are taking those vitamins will become very important. That is, once a vitamin A is recommended due to the deficiencies of xerophthalmia or poor dark absorptions, it will be recommended. And as shown in the figure, that is vitamin D are utilized where osteomalacia or rickets takes place. That is due to, basically for osteomalacia, it is the calcium loss which is happening in the bones. Rickets, again, the same thing, softening of the bones taking place, and bow legs, which is happening due to the deficiency of vitamin D. Similarly, vitamin E, K, and the B series, which are all added in our preparations for the respective symptoms and the deficiency which is taking place in the regular patients. So the preparation which is available in the market, Soluvit N, which is composed of a lyophilized powder containing a mixture of the vitamins which are to be included in the TPN, will be recommended once it is recommended by the doctor. Trace elements, that is the minerals, iron, zinc, manganese, copper, chromium, molybdenum, selenium, sodium fluoride, iodine, all these trace elements or minerals are available in the market in the name of petit trace, Adamel, and many more components from the market is available. Oil soluble vitamins which are added to the lipid regimen is available as Vitalipid coming in the ampule form, and basically 1 ml contains vitamin A, vitamin D, vitamin E, and vitamin K in the respective for the adults in the concentration as shown in the figure, and for the infants the quantity which has been shown in the figure respectively. So in these cases, this vitamin can be used only in the lipid solutions only. This cannot be mixed with clear solutions or water. The care has to be noted. And the quantity which will be used is 1 ml per kg. That is, the maximum will be 10 ml of it per day. Heparin flushes are also used in TPN. This medication is given by injection into the IV catheter as directed by your doctor. This medication is used to keep IV catheters open and flowing freely. Heparin helps to keep blood flowing smoothly and from clotting in the catheter, takes care that clotting doesn't happen. It is an anticoagulant, so where necessity is there only, it will be added, otherwise it is not recommended. Just coming to the preparation, so we all now have seen the importance of each of the ingredients, what all ingredients are there. So I just want to show one of the preparations, how it will be done by gravity compounding or by manual route of preparation. That is, as we said that so many solutions are available in the market. Dextrose is available, amino acid solutions are available, and electrolytes are available. So basically, how do they mix it and how do they prepare the TPN bag? I just want to show it manually. Gravity method I have just shown, that is, bottles are hung upside down, and due to the gravity, the liquid starts flowing into the bag. So each of the line, once the requirement is settled down from the bag, each of the accounted amount of the liquid or the injected amount is put into the bag. It is completely mixed together in the bag and labeled. So in this also, we have to maintain the cleanliness. The clean room environment has to be noted. That is aseptic room. The preparation of the room content also becomes very necessary. That is, it should be fitted with a laminar flow unit where pure air is being blown, and UV lights are to be accommodated where UV light sterilization process takes place. And also this filter air which is coming removes the particles lesser than 0.3 micrometers. The air filters from the laminar airflow is claimed to be 99.97 free from microbial contaminations. And as you are seeing even in the picture, that is the PPE kit will be utilized and it will be owned by the practitioner who is going to fill the TPN bag. The PPE dress is used in sterile environment. Disinfectants, sanitizers used before handling of any medications, and 70% alcohol solution is used to wipe the tables and disposable bags before the usages are taken care of. Next, I just told about the gravity method. Now I just want to introduce the automated machines which are available in the market. That is how they are connected and how they are being pumped into the regular bags which are available in the market. This arrangement is from a arrangement of Baxa 12 port machine compounder. You can see the tube which is there, which is having 12 ports in it. The 12 ports, you can fix each ingredient to that one port. So each ingredient is pulled from each individual ports by the machine which is shown on the left side of the screen. That is, this pumps them each ingredient by sequential manner by the volumetric method, and different volumes of different ingredients are taken up and filled in the bag. I just want to show the much more a bigger version of the fully automatic 23 port Baxa compounder, which is available, wherein 23 ports are there where you can fix 23 ingredients at a time and 23 ingredients on sequential basis. On the prescription level, whatever the quantities is necessary for individual bags can be pumped volumetrically, and certain volumes of liquids, whatever the necessity is there, will be pumped through the machine to the individual empty bags. Now I just want to show you the one of the runnings of the bag and how the operations are being done in the automatic machine. This is a complete automated machine wherein in the laminar flow, that is, as we have said, the aseptic room condition, air is being blown and the microbial standards are being maintained. The labeling of the TPN bag is taking place. The filling is done from automatically, and the weights are immediately taken once the filling has been taken up. You can also see the arrangements, how it was there, and how the automatic machines are being done by individual person can handle the complete set of the TPN preparation at one time. Just for example, everybody will have the curiosity. That is, we have said that we are going to prepare using so many ingredients. So I just want to say that how in the pharmacy or a pharmacist will be able to prepare this type of bags once the quantities are known to him or a prescription is given by a doctor to prepare such a solution. I just want to say the question, prepare a TPN, the total parenteral nutrition, for Mr. X undergoing gut surgery who has lost 14 kgs in the past few weeks due to his disease. Mr. X weighs 71 kgs currently. He requires around 2000 kilocalories of energy along with electrolytes, fats, vitamins and trace elements with a total fluid volume of 1900 ml. So I just want to show you, as we have already explained, we have seen the actual preparation taking place. Now I'm just showing you the quantities and what different solutions are being utilized with one or two examples in the table. If you see the table in the first, we have said that dextrose, we are going to use quantities 300 grams, the calories 1200 and the volume 600 ml. which is coming from 50% solution. So if you just can catch up with the earlier statement, we had already said that 1 gram of dextrose gives 3.4 kilocalories of energy. So if you can multiply the 300 grams into 3.4 kilocalories, you get 1020 kilocalories of energy. At the same time, on the right hand side, we are showing that it is being utilized from 50% solution. So whatever the solution you are going to prepare the TPN, we are going to utilize the 50% dextrose solution. So it means that 50 grams is in 100 ml. So your requirement is 300 grams. So 300 grams, if you are calculating, multiplying, you will be getting 600 ml of it. So similarly, you are going to calculate for each individual ingredients, what are the quantities required. If you are doing it manually, you will have to calculate all the quantities in the ml condition, because you want to pump it or you want to take it in the milliliters to make it into a bag consideration. So it will be a lengthy one for the calculations and the filling to take place in the manual, whereas automatically when you are doing it, all these calculations will not be necessary. It will be done by the computer itself, because it is already fed with the volumetric process. Just to say, for the neonatal TPN regimens, so for example, we are in a hospital, for example, we have a standard regimens which are already being prepared, so that the doctor can just give a number, so that we can accommodate the number of calories and the electrolytes which are already pre-standard to whatever the requirements are necessary on a daily basis. For example, as shown in the figure, we can see that on the top 13 regimen, in that column, we can get the total energy: dextrose 9 grams, nitrogen 0.15 grams, potassium 1.5, phosphate 0.5, calcium 0.5, magnesium 0.2. So this is the standard regimen, where for a neonatal, very small baby, the contents are given in grams per kg or millimoles per kg, which can be prepared according to the doctor's need for whatever the amount or kgs of the baby it is. So how does our TPN order form looks like once it is empty? So the patient name is given, from which ward it is coming, the date of birth of the baby is given, and the patient weight is necessary. The preparation date and the regimen will be given, and the quantities, if it is very particular, then the doctor writes the quantities of the particular ingredient, and it can be prepared by just mentioning the regimen number. We can just go on with the quantities according to the pre-filled regimens itself. So in our routine steps, I just want to say that what all happens, we have just seen, and I just want to tabulate it and say that once the prescription is coming, what are the steps that are being handled in the IV lab or the TPN lab, total parenteral nutrition. Once as the prescription comes, we are going for the calculation and the typing in the computer system, checking the calculation, the worksheets and the labels are printed out so that it can be pasted on the TPN bags, empty TPN bags. Arrangement of additives, as we said that different additives or the solutions which are required has to be taken up for filling. Arrangement of disposable items, there will be a lot of tubes which are necessary to be fixed to individual ingredients like the dextrose, the amino acid, the electrolytes. So you need a lot of disposable tubes and items. Checking aseptic room arrangements like the laminar flow or the aseptic room conditions have to be pre-arranged. Pre-compounding preparation inside the aseptic area, that is pre-compounding. I just want to say, if the quantities of the liquid, for example, calcium gluconate 10% solutions are available in ampules of 10 ml. So 10 ml will not be sufficient for the complete preparations. For example, if you have 20 to 30 TPN bags to be prepared, that will not be sufficient. So thereby you will have to create a big syringes of 50 ml individually, and you have to create a solution from that 10 ml individual ampules. So thereby you have to pre-compound the preparation before fixing it on the machine. Then filling of the bags you will be doing it. Then final checking the weight and the labeling will be done for the TPN bag in the last. I just want to show the actual setting, how it looks like once it is in the laminar flow. the laminar hood is there in the figure in the center, which the air will be flowing, and you will be standing opposite to the machine. So thereby any particulate matter will be blown away. So you can just have a look, the complete set of ingredients, the pipings which are done and which is coming to the machine, and each individual ingredients is pulled and put into the empty bag. Thereby we can just see that the time consumption is very less, and it is happening automatically from the machine, and even the wastage of ingredients will be very less. I have just shown the type of bags which will be available also, as I had earlier shown. The actual disposable unit, which is actually taking all the ingredients put together, that we said that 12 ports are there in the disposable unit. Each port is taking each individual ingredient, and which can be attached on the machine to give the complete setting. Once the filling is over, I just want to show the labeling on the bags which are done. The bags are actually pasted with the labels, which is as shown in the figure. It is the two types of bag already stated. We have the PVC bags, polyvinyl chloride bags, and the EVA bags, ethylene vinyl acetate bags, which are used for fat preparations. And also we have to take precaution that whatever the preparation is done, it is passing through the filters, so that air embolism or any particulate matter doesn't enter the bloodstream. Because the basic entity of whatever we have told in the TPN, that is, we have said that the total nutrition is a component of calories, the electrolytes, the minerals, and the micronutrients in a composition in such a way that it gives the calories per day of composition which are fed into the bloodstream. So lot of precautions has to be taken, and we can just say also, once you are putting a clear solution through the blood, we have to use a filter. 1.2 micron filter is used for lipid contents because lipid molecules are bigger. 1.2 microns are used, whereas 0.2 micron filters are used for clear solutions which are watery in nature. So once we are able to prepare it, it is okay. Not all countries or not all states are having the utility to make the TPN solutions. Not in our country, especially not everywhere it is available. Total parenteral nutrition is new to our states, whereas in the Western world, it is already being used in a very large manner. So I just want to show you one of the ready to use parenteral nutrition solutions which are already available in the market. Parenteral nutritions are also available in dual compartments and triple compartment bags, which provide electrolyte free formula, that they don't contain any electrolyte. They'll be containing only amino acid in one chamber and the glucose or the lipid in separate chambers, which will not be mixed. Because if mixing is done, it cannot be stored for a very long period of time. It has to be used within the 24 hours. So you can just see that dual compartment, two chambers. One chamber is containing amino acid. The other chamber is containing dextrose in the dual bag. Whereas in the triple chamber bags, you can just see one chamber is containing dextrose, the other with amino acid, and the other with a lipid or the fat emulsion with the milky structure. So once this is there, we can just see that also at the same time, this can be made up into a individual preparation at the time of use. We can mix all these three together in the bag itself and be administered once you want to utilize it. So how you are doing it also, I just want to show it to you. This is an example for the triple chamber bags. The bags are placed on the clean table. Remove the external cover. The instructions are printed on the white lipid side. Keep the port side away from your body. Roll the bag with your hands towards the port, pushing the liquid towards the port. Both the vertical seal breaks and the liquid starts mixing up. The upper side may remain upper side may remain unbroken. Mix the contents of the bag thoroughly. Just showing the procedures again. After the cover is being removed, keep the ports on the opposite side. Just roll it so that the port side chambers break up and the mixing takes place evenly. Mix the contents of the bags thoroughly, at least 3 to 4 times. Inspect completely the mixing and the solution stands towards the port side. Any addition of vitamins can be done if prescribed and can be used for the IV line in the normal TPN way of administration. So coming to the other guidelines which have to be followed in the hospital or the caregivers who are actually utilizing the TPN, that is the hospital guidelines and the responsibility of the person during the TPN therapy, because it is a clean preparation or the aseptic preparation which are being done. So prevention of infection is very necessary. Aseptic techniques must be followed. Frequency and methodology of dressing has to be done. Keep the TPN in refrigeration if it is not in use. TPN should not be hung for more than 24 hours. TPN microfilters should be used. That is already we have shown it in the figure. 0.2 micron filter for clear solutions have to be used. 1.2 micron filters for TPN lipid solutions are to be used. Filters should be replaced every 24 hours. Do not add medication to TPN bags. Do not draw blood from IV line for lab analysis. This is very particularly which has to be taken care of. That is, for example, the line is given to the blood through the catheter, thinking that the catheter is already there. Don't try to pull out the blood and send it for analysis, because already the line is concentrated with electrolytes and other electro materials which you are pumping to the TPN. So it will not give the correct valuations. So do not draw any blood from the IV line where the lab analysis have to be done. Maintenance of fluid and electrolyte balance also should be taken care from the nurses in the hospital or the caregivers who are taking the TPN. Maintain dip rate and the duration of infusion. Do not attempt to catch up by increasing the flow rate. Record daily weight of the patient and the intake, how much is being taken, and the output, and prevention and management of air embolism will be very much necessary. Just to compromise with the whatever the solutions we have prepared, the storage and stability of the preparation also becomes very much necessary. Once we have prepared the TPN bag, prepared TPN should be refrigerated, and once it is to be used, you have to remove it before 30 minutes so that it comes to the room temperature, and you will be using the TPN only once it is in room temperature. Maximum storage conditions, not more than 24 hours at a controlled room temperature. not more than 7 days at controlled cold refrigerated temperature. That is, once the bags is prepared, you can only store it for 7 days and not more than 7 days. Sensitive ingredients such as heparin, vitamin, etc. are recommended not to be added into TPN, or it is recommended only just before to administration it can be added. The requesting hospital or caregivers should arrange collection of TPN solution in cold box or refrigeration during transportation. If they are collecting and they are moving to their respective hospitals, it has to be collected in a cold box and it has to be stored at refrigerated temperatures. Just to come to the conclusion, we have seen the preparation. We have seen that whatever has been done in our laboratories or in the pharmacy, the TPN solution should be designed to provide patients with an adequate mix of calories, proteins, vitamins, electrolytes, trace elements using dextrose, amino acid, lipids, appropriate additives prior to solution preparations. TPN orders should be carefully reviewed to ensure that a balanced formulation will be provided to the patient and will meet the patient's nutritional and energy needs on a daily basis. For many patients, parenteral nutrition is a life-saving intervention, providing energy for growth and tissue repair. When the gastrointestinal tract cannot be used, this TPN will be a major useful. This is especially true for preterm or low birth weight neonates who represent the highest percentage of pediatric population requiring parenteral nutrition. So it is a life-saving preparation which we are doing. Familiarity with the nutritional requirement, complications, and methods of monitoring parenteral nutrition in the pediatric patient will help to minimize the risk of this complete pediatric and neonatal population, thereby saving lot of neonatal deaths which will be taking place. In the last, I just want to say that at the same time, the clinical values of parenteral nutrition has been proven in adults and infants with a wide variety of conditions. Parenteral nutrition, which is run through the bloodstream, is clearly growing rapidly and further advances can certainly be expected. So you can just see the advantages, how it is life-saving and how it has been understood and it has to be brought about in our states at the same time, which can be a life-saving one at the same time. With this, I just want to conclude. Thank you for giving this opportunity. Santanu Das, you can just...
Yes, sir. Sir, we request you if you could stop the screen share so that we can see you more clearly. Yes, sir. So in fact, we know that how important is the parenteral nutrition, as sir has told, and that's how, because that is the lifeline to a people whose colon gets cut or during the intervention refused, and sir has explained so beautifully. So before I speak something, I'd like to request the participants, if you have any queries, please put in the chat box so that we can ask sir. Sir, the talk, there is a question from the next speaker himself, Professor Wayne Rossley, sir. May I know the type of oil used to prepare TPN for solution of vitamin A, D, E, K, and DHA, the oil used?
Usually they are going for the soybean oil, fractionated soybean oil, and egg lecithin and glycerol combinations. They are utilizing in the combination, which will be utilized in the lipid also at the same time. It's coming as a fat emulsion. Basically, soybean oil is being utilized.
Thank you, sir, for the answer, and hope our guest has got Yes, he himself is thanking you. Baswaraj Gudi has told, thank you, very informative session, sir. So there are other compliments from Ganeshji, thank you. So I'd like to just put whatever sir has told. Yeah, Rajesh Kartiji, very nice session. So in fact, we should most understand when somebody goes to clinic, Wani Tariq ji from Kashmir, it was a wonderful session highlighting on the parental TPN and total parental nutrition, what we call. And as sir has told that developed in 1960 and later on keep getting modified. And in 2019, the UK experienced a severe shortage of TPN bags due to safety restrictions at the sole manufacturing site. So I think our respected sir has clearly showed how either in safety conditions has to be maintained, because this is the one which goes into the body and saves a life. So in fact, we are very ignorant about the TPN. Usually what we do, any people who takes either their relatives or friends, anyone to hospital, and they have been given intravenously the fluids, they don't know what is the product, how they have been prepared. Just, okay, doctor has prescribed, we take. And really we are blessed and enlightened by such a wonderful presentation, wonderful talk from you, sir. And it will be a wonderful session further. As I could see from Shyam Korde, informative session for as well as our students, sir. Thank you. Sir, Wani Tariq told, can a person who is having back pain, what is the treatment, back pain? And if they are operated, can they use this?
No, this consideration comes if they are not taking any food orally. Only in such cases only we are taking the total parental nutrition, where the doctor has advised not to take any oral feed. If they are consuming food, it doesn't come any total parental nutrition will not be in recommendation at all.
Yes, sir. So may I request Dr. Lakshmi Shahji, advisor, to kindly thank our esteemed, respected sir, Dr. Sri Uday W.D. Ashok sir, for his wonderful presentation. Sri Lakshmi Shahji. Okay, 1 second. Yes, sir. Now you can, I think, yes.
Yes, yes, sir. So it's a wonderful new dimension of understanding being open today. We were ignorant of most of this intrinsic happening. It's wonderful, Dr. Ashok ji, and it's such a wonderful intervention of saving somebody's life with all its total parental nutrition and its making and usage. So wonderfully you have explained. Thank you very much. Thank you.
Dr. Mahindra Darwa got a great knowledge about uses and components of TPN. That's what I had been telling sir, that when we knew that sir is into this field, we requested our sir and he has readily agreed, because it is the part which most of us are ignorant about. The moment we go to clinic, as I had been repeatedly telling, we don't know what it has been there and how it is the make and what all. Simply, no, just it has to be given, we take it, that's it. But really the making, the safety measures, the precautions, the aseptic conditions maintained, it has widened our views into the food products like TPN. So the first speaker was from the Space Foods. The second speaker is from the Lifeline Parental TPN. And the third speaker will be on the glycemic intake of the normal health. So we have a great session today. First day it is yoga, second day is the sports medicine, third day it is nutrition. I wholeheartedly thank you, sir, on behalf of several organizations across the country and across the country as well as international community, and all our 5 universities, Sharjah, Erlangga, Department of Sports from Indonesia and Malaysia and Ukraine. On behalf of everyone, I wholeheartedly thank you, sir, for your kind talk and enlightening us. And as usual, you have ever been bearing the torch and floating our Seshadipuram high and high. Thank you, sir.
Thank you very much.